Hey everybody, it's me Amanda with Once in a Wild, and welcome back to another Once in a Wild Wednesday. We've got another special guest sitting right next to me, and he's going to introduce himself in just a little bit. Stick around, and we will go ahead and let's just go ahead and get started. How about it? Okay, everybody, welcome back to Once in a Wild Wednesday. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. We are happy to have new viewers all the time. We're also happy to see our friends, family, and followers, of course, joining back in for another Once in a Wild Wednesday. We're here each and every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we are right here in San Antonio, Texas. That is where we're located. We are a mobile zoo, and we can bring the zoo to your next event, like a birthday. We can also bring animals to a classroom presentation or nursing home for animal therapy. Anything you can think of that would benefit you to have animals in would be a great option for you. And if you are here in San Antonio, Texas, we can do that for you. Or if you're in surrounding cities too, that is perfectly fine. Just let us know what you're interested in. We can also offer virtual animal encounters as well. As you can see, we are right here right now virtually for you, but you can actually schedule your own private Zoom with us, and you can pick the animals that you would like to meet, and those are very, very fun as well. If you happen to live outside of the San Antonio, Texas area, we would love to see you on a virtual animal experience coming up soon. That is the best way to support what we do, but remember, this live stream is free. So remember, though, if you want to support what we do, get your own animal encounter, or you can actually tip or donate to us. All the proceeds go straight to animal care, as you might imagine, with over 100 animals here at Once in a While. We do have a lot of animals to feed and take care of, so every little bit helps. And a couple of options are Venmo, Cash App, and we also have a PayPal as well. All of those handles are the same at Once in a Wild, or $ Once in a Wild. And we also have an Amazon wish list at onceinawild.com, where you can pick out items that we've already pre-selected, super easy, for the animals. And there's all sorts of different things like food and toys and caging and all sorts of different things for every price range. So don't worry. So hello.
Hi, how are you?
Who are you?
I ask myself that every morning. Who am I?
Same. Well, I'm Amanda, and
I'm Andrew.
Hi,
and
Andrew.
I'm CEO and co-founder of Southside Craft Soda.
Oh.
We're a local craft soda company here in San Antonio, Texas.
Also in San Antonio, wonderful,
right,
which is my hometown, by the way. How about you?
Yeah, that's where I'm from, right
Awesome.
here. From the south side of San Antonio.
Excellent.
And that's why we named it Southside Craft Soda.
That makes sense.
Right? So me and my co-founder, Greg Spickler, we founded this company about 2017, started making a lot of just local home-brewed craft soda, sourcing all sorts of ingredients to try to find something that was unique, but also very San Antonio and South Texas, right? And so that was always the goal. How could we create, and Greg's from San Antonio as well, but Greg went to Culinary Institute, New York. He's a trained chef.
Oh,
so he knows flavors, and
and
we were just trying to make something that was unique, that was really ours, right? And so in 2019, we came out with our first bottled soda, and I can actually have we came out with our first bottled soda.
Show everyone.
This is Texacola.
Gorgeous. Uh-oh. Here, it's okay. We got a rag.
Technology.
There you go.
There you go. Texacola. And so Texacola, there we go, this way.
There you go.
Is a pure cane. Thank you. Pure cane cola, sugar, pure cane sugar cola. We've got local honey. It's a citrus cola. It's got orange, real lemon, lime, and orange juice. So you got a nice orange finish. The key to our sodas is that we are craft beer people. We come from the craft beer world.
That makes sense.
And
wonderful.
Craft beer people making craft soda, which is a little bit different than I always say than soda people making.
He's opening it.
Instead of, you can have.
Oh yes, I'm gonna try it right now.
And I think that
this is a first for Once in a While Wednesday, having like a taste test. We don't usually taste things with the animals, so the animals do the tasting.
Yeah. So that you'll taste the citrus in that. And so it's got.
Oh, and it says right here, honey infused. Oh yeah, that's really good, but it's not like too strong. It's really subtle. I like that.
Because of the cane sugar and the real juice.
Yeah.
You tend to not get that overbearing sweetness that you get from other sodas.
Right.
Right. And I think it has a lot to do with the natural juices and the natural cane sugar. Right. So it's a little bit more refreshing.
I like that. I'm going to keep it.
It's a little bit
Right
more
here.
refreshing than our other sodas.
And it's not super carbonated.
Right.
It's
and
not
that,
like, I mean, not that I mind that
Right,
usually,
it's
but
re-
it's not like, you know how sometimes.
Right. It has a lot to do with the brewing, how we make the soda, right?
Oh, okay.
Because we're making it at a brewery.
I know nothing about this, but I'm fascinated.
So we bottle it at a brewery, and
just
so
like a beer,
right? Like a beer, and so the carbonation. Let's say, and I'm going to show you one of our very first.
There's the brand, you guys. Southside.
Right. You can get
Craft
that.
Soda.
I see a question from Kathleen. You can get that. And
no worries.
Most HEBs, Wong's Bodega.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you where.
Wong's Bodega has it. You can also get it over at.
Do you know the Jefferson Bodega?
Jefferson Bodega has it. Absolutely.
Awesome. We just did an event over there.
Yeah, you can go look in there.
Ricky says, "Save me one."
Yeah.
We'll try, but no promises, Ricky.
Uh-oh.
And heart eyes, yes. Okay, and then Kathleen is asking really quick, where can I buy your drinks? Which you already answered. I saw some at Smoke Shack Meat Market today, but I won't be back there for a while. Do you mean you won't be back in the San Antonio area, Kathleen, or you won't be back to the particular place? So is it just? I assume it's just in San Antonio.
No. Well, we're in about 130 HEBs throughout.
Oh, Never mind.
So we're in about 50 in Houston. We're in some of the central markets, here in the area. But the bodegas like Wong's and Jefferson have been great supporters of ours. And I'm going to tell you, so this is our limoncito can. So we came out with these cans this year, and these are kind of like I always call I call them experimental cans because it's one small step for man and one giant leap for the fact that we're able to do this. So we have these in bottles, and the limoncito is real lemon, real lime juice, cane sugar, honey again. Again, the carbonation in this one kind of, I don't think.
Shall we open it?
Yeah. So carbonation, and these are cans. We have
it's just soda, you guys, but
well, we can add some stuff to it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh,
like
there you go. Cheers. I gotta say, I'm not a lemon person, but this is really good. It's not strong,
right?
Which is good. That's a compliment,
right? Because there's a lot more natural juices, carbonation, right, and the cane sugar. It really is and it's really, so you can taste the carbon. We have more control over the carbonation in the can than we do on the bottles, and that's the machinery. We're not a big fancy soda factory, right?
Okay.
That we
again, I know nothing. Yeah. I've only seen. What I know about soda manufacturing is like what I saw on Sesame Street. That's all I know. I know nothing about I've never worked in food service. I've never worked in anything like that. So I don't know. So why don't you tell everybody about that a little bit?
So because it is so people say, what's craft? Well, we actually have people who are putting the recipe together at the facility, and sometimes there are nuances to the flavor profiles if you're really good at catching them, right? And we tend to be pretty good at that because it's like, hey, there's something off with, but it's not like off to where everybody would figure it out, right? It's like, oh, what's the difference here? Or it might be an ingredient change, or it might be the guy who's making the formula actually dripped in a couple more extra. Whoops.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
a kid fell in.
Yeah, it's like that sort of thing. There might have been that, right? And so what we've been able to do is we've been able to take this sort of the beer equipment and convert it over to making soda, right? And so, which is not the same process, but because of my co-founder Greg, who's kind of a jack of all trades, and he actually works there at the brewery. He understands how to make all that happen, which is pretty cool.
That's super awesome. So is it just the two of you that own and kind of run the company?
We're co-founders. We're co-founders. We do have a group that helps us, kind of the money and ourselves.
That is important. And as a small business owner myself, I know there's a lot of things to worry about.
Yeah, and so, but he and I really were the ones that we used to make sodas in kegs, go out with the jockey boxes, like the beer. And I'm going to tell you, if you've never and maybe one day we'll be able to share that experience again. Real soda, like real, like made in a kettle, the syrup taken down to taken down to the ingredients taken down into a syrup, right? And carbon. I mean, that cool. It's just as natural as you can get with off the keg. Wow. It's just the first sodas we ever made, they would be too expensive to sell.
Oh, okay.
Right, because you're using, we made a red version of our soda using real strawberry juice.
Okay.
And just to give you an idea, 5 gallons worth of real strawberry juice is like $180.
Oh, okay.
So you see, it's like,
sure.
So, but we made it, and it was like, wow, this is the most. Then you're going
really
like,
good.
yeah, like, okay,
of course it is. Of course it is.
Of course it will. We'll sell 12-ounce bottles for $42. Not gonna happen.
So let's backtrack a little bit to your background and how you haven't always been the owner of Southside Sodas, obviously. So what is your background a little bit, and how did you get? How did this happen?
It's
a story of you.
So I'm actually a trained graphic designer.
Oh,
right. So
just Ricky.
That's how we're all kind of in that same. We all kind of were spawned out of that same era of graphic designers, right? But for me, I was always even though I understood graphic design, I was always just very curious about how brands were built and things were built and all this other, And so then I had my own marketing graphics company for about 10 or more years.
Okay.
And I kind of strategically placed us into getting more food and beverage companies.
Okay.
So I kind of was looking for that, right? And then I ended up meeting the owner of Alamo Beer, Eugene.
Okay.
And so that's how that all comes
to
play. I did a lot of work with Adams Extract and Spices, which is a lot of that flavor and packaging, so all these things sort of, and then there was just this one moment where after doing my own thing in marketing for so long, I was like, I get it. I like it. But I want something else, and since I love, being around these sort of innovators like Eugene Seymour Alamo or Sterling, who was over at Adams, and these guys were making things, and just being around that energy started saying, you're like, wow, I really like this, and I want to know how. And then I think it's like, I had this moment in time where I said, I think I could make this happen, and then I serendipitously, is that a word?
Yeah, okay. I think so. If it's not, we'll use it.
It's a new word, Urban Dictionary.
That's fine.
I met Greg I saw Greg, and Greg and I had both worked at Alamo.
Okay. And
I said, hey, Greg, I got this wild idea. I'm thinking about making a craft soda.
And he's just like, what is he gonna say?
Yeah. And he's like, I want to make a craft soda, and he's like, yeah, okay, cool. And I said, look, I'm not too concerned about. I'm not too concerned. Yeah, product placement. Oh wow, yeah.
Sure, you are.
I'm not too concerned about. I just want to make it happen, right? Sure. I don't need to be the. I don't. I just want to make
doing it for the dough. You're just doing it because you want to.
Right, and then we ended up getting enough support early on to help us. To help us do this, and here we are now. All South Texas-y, is that a word? South Texas-y. So a new word. We're just inventing words tonight.
Yeah.
so like limoncito, again, kind of based off of an agua fresca, fresh lemon juice. And then we came out with our we came out with our root beer.
Oh boy.
Let me put this cup here.
Yes, do that.
There we go. We don't want any fried laptops.
Or it's the laptop, you guys, right underneath us.
So root, I'm never do this right.
There you go. Can you see it? Yeah.
So root bear, get it.
Oh, I love that. So we're in Bexar County. In case you guys aren't familiar with San Antonio, it's in Bexar County.
And if you don't know how to say that, then I know
it looks like Bexar, but it's Bexar.
Yeah. And if you can't say it, I know you're not from around here.
That's right.
That's how That's how I do my. There you go.
There are no bears at Once in a While, but there is now.
There is a. So this is a root beer.
You're gonna make me burp out here.
Yeah,
on
right.
the live stream, right in front of everybody.
We're gonna go viral.
Yeah, we are. If we spill it
contest. Burping contest.
Hey.
So root beer. Let me see if I can find my root beer. So root beer is a traditional root beer
made with real bear.
Yeah, made in Bexar County with real bear. As a matter of fact, I say that on the side, right? If you ever go to the side here and you read, it says on this side, it says,
"Oh,
bear is pronounced bear."
Perfect.
See, it's a little. So this has a little bit of mesquite bean in
super cool
in the root beer, traditional root beer. It tastes like a root beer. It's got a nuttiness at the end. If you can taste
a little,
there's like
tastes great.
So there's a if you can pick out the back on the back side of that flavor, and but it also tastes like when it gets real. So that's the thing about craft soda.
Should I put it in a wine glass?
Yeah, you should.
Swirl it.
So the thing about craft soda is
check it out, you guys.
The thing about craft soda is when it gets colder, the flavor really changes. But all the ingredients are really good ingredients. So you could drink it warm and it tastes. Yeah, I know. He's like, no, why would I do that? It could, or as you open it, as it warms up, it still tastes good.
It's not as bad.
Yeah, it's not as bad. And I think
I believe you.
But when you drink it cold, all everything brightens. So it's always like that's so like when you drink.
I do taste the nuttiness now.
Yeah,
or is it just me?
Yeah, no.
It's crazy.
So this last one, and that's root beer.
That was really good. That might be my favorite one. This one's a little more carbonated than the other two so far, but those were lower on the carbonation for sure. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Everybody needs to go buy this. If you can find an HEB, you should support Southside Craft Soda.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, now this one is Beeville.
Beeville. So the bears and the bees.
The bear.
Wait, we gotta open it first.
We got the bears and the bears, and we're going to teach you about the bears and the bees.
Yeah, we are. That's bear, not beer.
Yes,
and not birds. But we will meet a bird later.
Yeah. So
how about that?
So Beeville is a interesting soda in the sense that it'll be nothing like you've ever tasted before. It's probably the craftiest soda we make, meaning that it has several flavors. That's a dual meaning. Yeah. So I think that everything to this point was familiar flavors.
Oh, sure. I see.
With South Texas twists, right? The cola, cola. You can taste the orange. You get it. The lemon. You can taste the lemon, the lime, the honey.
This one gonna be like, I don't know what it is.
So it's got cinnamon and honey and cloves and cherry. And it would be, I know, here we go.
That's real life. Did you guys expect this today? I bet you didn't. So it's got honey, it's got vanilla. The last version of this, and again, I tell people these are craft. The latest version of this out of our run. Actually, the cinnamon came out a little bit more than usual. So sometimes I'll drink them. I'll go like, what do we do different? Something went wrong. All right.
Yeah, well, I'm like happy. It's like the guy that dropped the potato in the fryer, like, oh no, accident, and then
French fries.
Oh yeah, like, oh, it's amazing. It's the same thing.
Is that a true story?
I don't know. It just makes sense to me. But,
we're making up lore as we go.
So like the guy at the brewery, like, cinnamon. More cinnamon, more cinnamon. So this one, I think, this is one of my the earlier versions. And, so you can actually, if you want to, smell the top note on that.
Ooh, that's cinnamony.
You can. So
yeah.
That is a.
And this is the Beeville.
Yeah, this is Beeville. It's good.
But it smells stronger than it is. That's really good. Yeah. I don't like cinnamon. Again, I'm not a lemon person. I'm not a cinnamon person, but these are really good.
So this is, again, I'm
not lying. It's really good.
So this
cool.
one, so this one has some cloves. As a matter of fact, it has.
There it is, y'all.
Yeah. But it's not a harsh cinnamon, right? It's
no.
It's like a flavorful, because you have vanilla and honey, and you have all these other ingredients that are mixing with it.
Yeah, it's great.
It gives you, I know.
Yeah,
wow.
Sometimes proud of your brand.
Sometimes
you're like, I know.
Sometimes
I'm telling you guys, it's really good.
So sometimes, we're a craft soda company, and we do stuff, and we go like, oh God, I hope that works out. And then you're like, oh God.
Okay, work me through the process of like coming up with ideas for flavors, and then like you just like send out like how does that work? Like, what is like step 1 and then 2 and 3, and then before it actually that like does well in the stores?
So when we first when we first started, Greg just kind of had several flavors, right?
Look at this. We were just talking about this.
Yes.
Before we began.
It would be great with rum.
I agree. Maybe we'll do that after the show.
Yeah.
This is a family show, you guys.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, welcome. This is Once in a Wild Wednesday, and Andrew from
Southside Craft Soda
is here with us today.
I hear iguanas like rum. Is that true? If they do, they don't tell anybody.
My iguana, she's only like 14. She's not over 21 yet, so we haven't tried.
Well, we'll see what happens. So the process is that so coming out of the craft beer world, one of the things you learn was that the idea of craft is it's a kind of a bold, if you're a consumer. Mm-hmm. You're really taking a risk. You're really going outside of.
Oh yeah.
You're going outside of your normal comfort zone when it comes to.
Like when you order one, you mean? Like, let me try that.
Excuse me. Wow.
Oh, please let it out. Oh, you win.
I'm getting drunk off my own soda, and it's not even alcohol.
It's not alcohol.
Sugar rush.
It's been a long day.
Sugar rush. Yeah. So then we ended up. I've never burped live.
I'll do it again. It makes you feel better.
That's why those first 3 sodas were important, right? Because before you get to a Beeville, right?
Oh, right, true.
Before I get you to a Beeville, that's kind of why I did it in that order.
Okay.
Because you're having to build trust with the customer.
Okay.
Like, oh, okay, they know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So when you then bring the customer something,
especially if you're gonna buy it,
right? You bring
today it was free, so
right. So when the customer, you're kind of trying to build this trust, and so by the time they get to this Beeville, they go like, well, I really like that one. I really like that one. So these guys, this company must know what it's doing. So I'm going to buy this to try it, and then you can start introducing a little bit more, bolder or pushing the flavor palette process a little bit. So like, for example, you'll hear it here first, right? We're developing light craft soda, right? So what's a light craft soda? Light craft soda is like a light beer. It's just less calories. Yeah. Still got real sugar. There you go. You win. You're the winner now.
Sorry.
You took over.
Pardon me.
You took over the top spot.
Ricky's not the rest.
But we're gonna have the ability to do like an all natural, no preservative, right? So we're looking at, okay, what can we do now that's like watermelon mint or prickly pear lime, right? So now I can kind of, now that I've kind of,
is it just somebody in their lab like, yes, I'm gonna come up with an idea?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you, it kind of is.
Which
right?
craft?
Greg, right? So I'll tell Greg, and I'll say, hey, Greg, we did how we ended up with the mesquite bean root beers. Greg had gone to.
It's okay to burp, everybody. It's okay.
Yeah, the alternate may not be as pleasant.
Yeah.
let's burp for the
Just
sake
leave it
of
at that.
for the sake of the animals.
Hey, animals don't care.
Yeah. So the what was I going with that?
I was talking about coming up with ideas.
Oh yeah. So
in the
it is. Yeah,
lab.
you're right.
I'm imagining
right,
like
right,
a scientist.
Yeah. So that's Greg, right? So
Okay.
Greg
Greg.
Greg's a chef, trained chef, whatever. And so we'll sit down and I'll say, we did the root beer with the mesquite bean. One day it was just, he had gone to some sort of like not state fair, but a little pop up, market in the hill country, kind of thing.
Farmers market.
Yeah,
yeah.
And there was this old lady and this farmer, and they were making mesquite bean syrup, right? And so then,
and what is that for normally? Like
it's a syrup. It's like a honey.
Oh, okay, got you.
It's actually really good. And then they actually make mesquite bean. They make. Yeah, I know.
Ricky's gonna start giving us his ideas.
There you go. Well,
without.
There you go.
Oh, they're all gonna have okay.
They're all gonna end with ada.
That's South Texas for you.
Yeah, and so then we're doing a tasting. We're doing a taste test. Not a taste test though. Research, probably a better word.
Yeah.
Right, and at the end of it, he goes, "Hey, I'm messing around with this root beer with mesquite bean," and so then he starts handing it out to the Hakamiaka Lanada. There you go. It ended with the other. Thanks, Ricky.
Jamaica limonada? Is that what you're saying?
Jamaica limonada. Yeah.
Sure.
We're gonna need a really tall bottle to put that on.
Yeah.
It
does sound good.
And so then he starts adding, and then in the group.
See, my mom knew. That's my mom. Amanda will win the burping contest.
She just did.
My mom knows me. That was me holding back.
Yeah. And so he showed it to this group of and there's college students, right?
Like, here, try this.
Yeah, try this. And they're like, oh my god! And they liked it more than the soda we were showing them. And you're like, what? And then we had to figure out how we could get mesquite bean at a to where we can make a lot of it.
Yeah,
because it's not that easy.
That's probably a challenge with most of your craft ingredients, like you were saying, the real strawberry.
And you can't really. And you have to, as much as you want to source locally, what you have to do is you have to kind of have a blend of some local, some,
of course,
right? So that you are using some, like we use real honey in all of our soda.
That's great.
So that's all local honey. And so, but other things like when we were sourcing citrus, we were sourcing it from the valley. Okay. And then, but you're beginning to learn.
It's down south for those of you not from
South Texas Valley. And so you begin to look at okay, they had the big freeze.
Yes.
Right. So you can't get, we had enough citrus to run till a certain point, and then after that, I can't use Valley citrus. So some of the stuff, like some of our packaging is going to change.
Okay.
So we're still using real juice.
But it might
but you can't. There's like if you can find it and sell it to us,
You heard it here. Contact Andrew.
Yeah, if you can find it and sell it to us, then God bless you, because because they're all telling you, all the farmers down there, they missed that cycle, right? And so by the time it comes back,
hopefully better this year.
Yeah, that's what they're looking at.
Not as crazy as this last winter was a challenge for literally every type of business.
Oh gosh,
we did not lose power here, because I think we're on a grid where a nursing home is, because it's right around the corner. So we were actually kind of having people come over here and stay here.
Really?
Yeah, because we have the room, and we did not lose power. But we were just like me personally, I was losing sleep, waking up every 2 hours, just expecting the power to be off with all these animals and having to evacuate. But it never happened, thank goodness.
We didn't either, and for another kind of random reason. We're on the same grid so we live on the south side by the San Antonio River. And there is a pump.
Yep. Okay.
there is a pump that pumps sewage underneath the river and back to the other side. And
you never thought you would be happy to live to a sewage pump.
I can't smell anything, but
no, I'm sure.
But yeah, but it's just like
it's one of those things that
like they're like I said, why are there power? And I was like wondering, and I looked down the street, like, oh, it's that big pump. You're like that pump is gonna never go down.
Essentially, yes. Yeah, no, you're right. You're super right.
I was like, all right, so we did. But the worst thing that happened to us during the freeze was we lost our internet. And it's like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it's so horrible, right?
That's very true.
We're so first world problems.
It is first world problems. At the same time, as you know, we're online now.
Yeah.
This is part of our way of life and how we advertise our business. And we're a new company too, as you guys that follow us know. We're brand new as well. We're almost the same age company wise.
Right, yeah, sure.
And just a couple of years old.
Yeah.
And so, of course, the times at hand, COVID and everything was a big deal. With starting a new company and having all of our events canceled. Luckily, I mean, you are at least like kind of a food item or a drink item.
We were
so
in
that's a little
stores,
bit different. But I mean, you're still new, so
right.
that has a lot of challenges. So we needed the internet, is what I'm trying to say, to do any of our events that were all online.
Yeah,
so that is a big deal.
Yeah, we were kind of there forced to read books to our kid.
I know.
No, what? No.
Imagine that. Go Broncos. Go Broncos. From where, Ricky?
Are you typed that in the wrong feed? You watching football?
Ricky, what are you doing? Go Broncos! Explain yourself. Is that like the Valley maybe?
Oh,
the Valley, McAllen. Ricky went to school in McAllen, but he's from Reynosa.
Oh, there you go. So that's with the Broncos.
Cherry. Roselle would like. Do you have a cherry soda? I bet you do. Do you guys have a cherry soda?
Well, we're working on a strawberry soda. Our Beeville has cherry in it, but it's mostly like a spicy cherry.
It's good, Roselle. You should try it.
It's like more of a there's cherry in there, but like I said, if Beeville was going to be categorized, so Dr. Pepper is categorized as a spicy cherry soda.
Okay. Got you. Hey, let it out. He's being very polite.
So it's like Dr. Pepper in the category spicy cherry. This would be a spicy cherry. Yeah. I didn't know that either until somebody who knew that told me that. I was like, oh, I never knew that.
I have been to the Dr. Pepper Museum, old factory over in Waco, right?
Yeah.
In Waco? Yeah, I have been there. So I take it back. I haven't learned everything about sodas from Sesame Street. I learned a little bit from going down there one time because I'm from this area. So we've been all over Texas.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what else should we talk about? So what have you got going on now? Like, what should people know? How do they find you?
So we're online.
Etc. I know where they can find your products.
Yeah, so we're online. You can go to Southside Craft Soda on Facebook and Instagram. So you can that's our handle.
Got it. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And you can totally
there it is, you guys.
You can just go right there at Southside Craft Soda.
Where is it? Here it is. Ooh.
Yeah.
Right under you. There we are. Southside at Southside Craft Soda. We know your Instagram, but I didn't realize you were on Facebook as well.
And Facebook, and then that's our website's just southsidecraftsoda.com.
Perfect.
And we've got a lot of things going on there, and we try to do a lot of events when we can.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
we would love to help you with some events.
Yeah.
That's what we specialize in as well.
We do events, and people ask us to come out and just to sample, and so we'll go sample, that sort of thing. So, I think there might be something there.
Yeah, definitely. So I was going to, I think Ricky had mentioned it earlier, and we were just talking and chatting, so I didn't see the comment until later. Ricky had said, Ricardo, Ricky had said businesses can benefit from Once in a Wild. Yeah. So we actually can help if any of you out there in San Antonio or in the surrounding cities area, if you guys ever have like a business launching or anything corporate or etc., we can actually bring animals for that too. It's not just for birthdays. It's not just for kids, believe it or not. And whether it's an online kind of virtual experience that we can unite everybody and have a fun little gathering together and learn about animals and just have fun, or we can actually bring a little petting zoo out for you guys or animal therapy to enjoy, or it actually attracts a lot of customers. So we were just at the Jefferson Bodega not too long ago.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of pop-up events out there. I'm sure you know that, for different vendors and things like that. And they kind of select the vendors based on what, who they want out there, obviously. And they picked us as well. And we were really happy to be there. It was a lot of fun. And we were pretty popular out there. So it's a big draw to the actual store as well.
Right. Yeah.
That's one great idea for you guys out.
And I think you're like one of the only people that does that.
Yes. So we are a pretty unique business as You guys are pretty unique in your own way too, but of course people are familiar with sodas.
Right.
But our challenge especially is what I've noticed at the beginning was just letting people know what the heck we are. So what is a mobile zoo? Well, we bring the animals to you. We can bring you experiences that nobody else can, and we can get you guys close to animals that you may not see otherwise, or maybe you're a little bit nervous around. Just like you were saying, like kind of building that trust.
Yeah.
You reminded me when you were saying like, oh, try this soda and then try this one and then maybe buy this one in the future. That's kind of what we do too.
Yeah.
So sometimes it takes a cute animal to get people hooked, and then they can start getting close to animals that maybe they wouldn't otherwise. You know what I mean? So you had mentioned you're a little nervous around snakes.
So you're going to start me off with a bunny and end me with a man-eating alligator.
That's right. Well, it's just a good idea to kind of ease people in, because you don't want to be like, here you go. If you don't like snakes, you don't throw them on them. I mean, that's not what we do. So that's not what we're about. We want to make sure people respect animals. And then we actually, before the show, I can't talk. I promise it's not alcohol. It's just soda.
Sugar rush.
Woo! So before the show started, you were talking about a little bit of your background with animals. You want to tell everybody about that?
Yeah.
I would love to talk about that.
So we had a marketing company, and we were in charge of the city's spay and neuter campaign. And that's kind of part of my background.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had a lot of troubled areas in this community in terms of strays.
Mm-hmm.
And part of my job was to help build the strategy around how we could get into the neighborhoods to begin education process. And so some of that was animal care, right?
Course,
and I think there was just kind of, the more we could kind of reinforce animal care, feeding properly, water, with leashes,
general vet care,
right,
whatever.
That sort of thing. And that there's a lot of resources, and I don't think that people realize how many resources they have access to, between the Humane Society, Pets Alive, right? It's just, they get funding from the city to help communities care for their pets.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
There's no excuse, really.
Right, and it's out there.
But people just don't know. Right, I don't think people, most of the time, not everybody is the same, but I think most people don't intend to do things the wrong way.
Right.
Or they don't intend to not take care of their pets, or let their pets go, or whatever, or just let them have all the babies they want. I think it's just a lack of education.
Yeah, and I think that, and like I said before, it's when you start getting into these, into communities like mine where I grew up, there's other needs first, right?
And
you have to be respectful of, a family's needs at first, right?
If they can afford it, then
and so you just try to be as understanding and saying, okay, well, what can we do, right? Let's start at least the first step of this. And I think that, going to schools and demonstrating, pets and pet care,
absolutely,
right? That's just the first step. At least now there's some sort of reference point.
Oh yeah, and what year was this, or what years?
This was this was probably in 2012.
Oh, okay.
2011, somewhere in there. And they ended the campaign because that actually worked. Because a lot of what we did was a very, I would say, low-hanging fruit, because there was a lot of resources and there was a lot of community people. So it's just basically connecting the resources to neighborhoods, right? And that was a very simple thing we did, and it worked.
It's really similar with animal conservation too. I don't know if you know much about this in other countries, but it's really similar, where people are struggling to even survive day to day, and keep their families alive, much less, care about animals.
Right.
So a lot of it's education and letting, like the native people, wherever it might be, maybe it's Africa or South America or wherever, letting them know that their animals that they have there are special. They don't exist anywhere else in the world. Most people don't know that live out in the boonies. They don't understand. You're good. They don't understand that their animals are in danger, that they're actually going extinct. They think that they're just everywhere, and we can just, go ahead and hunt them or whatever. And a lot of it, like for example, with ivory, with elephants, is a lot of people are under the misinformation or misunderstanding that ivory just grows back, and when they collect the ivory, they're not actually taking the entire elephant or the whole herd. So a lot of people just assume that when they buy ivory, it's harmless. It's like antlers on a deer or something right. So a lot of it is we can't go against everybody and try to fight, and say you're doing the wrong thing and whatever, because they're just gonna be like, get away from me.
Yeah, this is our lifestyle.
Like,
yeah,
or whatever.
It's like this is our life, right?
Yeah,
it's normal to us.
Stop trying to start something with me. You don't even know me.
Right, right.
So they figured out it's kind of the same kind of thing where you have to ease in and make friends, and if you can safely, and just educate people and show them the real deal, like give them an education that they really need, and then all of that kind of just happened on its own.
There was a great
people start appreciating it.
There was an economist, Soroli or something like that, and and they would do economic development in African countries.
Oh yeah, sure.
And he talked about how they had planted all these things in this village because they were going to teach them agriculture, right?
Right.
They're like, we're going to teach you we're going to teach you agriculture.
Yeah.
So they started putting these fields, and all these people from Europe had come down. They were going to help this African village, and then one night they hear all the rustling through the fields, and the next day all the fields were trampled on, and all the fruit and veg were eaten, and they had asked the villager, what happened? He goes, well, the hippopotamus came in and they ate all the vegetation. And he goes, you have hippopotamus here? How come you never told us? And he goes, well, you never asked us.
Don't you have hippopotamus? Where you come from?
You never asked us what was here. You just said, hey, you guys should be growing stuff. Okay.
Right.
It's like you didn't ask us what we already know and how we can, sort of meeting the people where they're at. Versus trying to change it all, right?
Yeah, make
baby steps.
Yes, absolutely, and trying to make everything like what you're used to doesn't always work.
right, just baby steps.
But that's a big deal with animal conservation. It just reminded me of that.
Yeah, cool.
Well, very, very good. Do we have any more sodas
I
to try, or is that all of them?
I think we got ice now.
Oh, okay. We'll save that for later.
Move this down here.
Well, I'm going to move all the sodas aside. Yes. I recommend you do the same.
Here we go.
Before we get to the actual animal portion. If this is your first time joining us here at Once in a Wild, welcome. We are drinking all the things today.
Soda.
We've got Andrew here from...
Southside Craft Soda.
Oh, get it out. Southside Craft Soda right here in San Antonio.
That's right.
We've got plenty of soda for all you guys at home as well. But if you want to try these delicious sodas, you can go to your local HEB if you happen to be in the South Texas area. If not, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if you live somewhere else. We were just talking about this not too long ago about other grocery stores and other places. Yeah. I've had so many local guests on the show that I sometimes forget that we have guests from all over the place. But that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you've never been here before, hello, my name is Amanda, and we are Once in a Wild, and we have a special guest today. We don't always have special guests, but we have a lot lined up for the near future. So stay tuned. And don't forget to follow us at Once in a Wild. What are we? I forgot. At Once in a Wild, we are on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. YouTube, of course, and if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. We need more subscribers over there. We are pretty low on subscribers for whatever reason on YouTube. We just haven't really gotten too many yet. But if you would do that for us, that is a free way that you can help us out. But you can also help us out in other ways. It's hard to talk today.
Are you on MySpace?
No. I used to be on MySpace, on my personal MySpace. For those kids out there, MySpace used to be a thing before Facebook. Oh, hello. There's Laura. She is the owner and operator of Alamo Ranch Pop-Up Market. That's what it is. Yeah. She was a guest on the show as well. We would love to have you at Alamo Ranch Pop-Up Market. Who doesn't love local soda? I think that was supposed to be a question. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that would. All you just got to do is reach out.
Nice.
Yeah, just reach out to us and we'll totally pop up.
I'll connect you guys after the show's over. But if you've never seen the show before, we always bring animals as well. And you just talked about your background with animals a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you have any animals at home?
Oh currently? we got Pebbles as our dog.
Aww.
And Pebbles is a
dog.
Yeah, Pebbles is a dog. Pebbles is a pit mix.
Very good.
Who's a very, very shy and quiet dog. And, except when it comes to, she's a very interesting temperament where, you could put a baby next to her and she'd be very quiet and calm, but you put another dog next to her and it's almost as if like calm down. Well, this is how I explain it. She doesn't know her own strength.
Oh, okay.
She thinks she's playing.
Oh, so she's not mean to the dogs.
Yeah.
She loves the dogs.
She thinks
but
she thinks she's playing, and so it's just like I always think of like,
I see.
So I've always been a big kid. As a big kid, you're always like I'm gonna play with all the kids, and you're like, boom, boom. By the time you know it, all the kids are crying because you're like,
and you're like, what?
What did I do? I was just hugging you, like hugging the air. So that's the way Pebbles is, right? Pebbles is
she
like
plays rough.
she plays rough, and so it's like, come on, Pebbles, you can't do that. It's like I know you're trying to play nice, but that's Pebbles.
Is she young still?
Yeah, she's about 4 years old.
Oh, okay.
Is that young? I don't know. 3 years old?
Yeah, that's young, but not too young. But that just might be her.
Yeah, no. She was a rescue.
Yeah.
So I think
good.
So I don't know what her past was. So maybe there was some trauma there with some other dogs.
Maybe she's just like, be my friend or else. No, that's sweet though. What color is she?
She's white. She's almost got like Dalmatian spots on
cute.
her. Right. So you can kind of. She loves the sun. She always gets sunburned.
Oh,
it's just like kind of
sunscreen.
Yeah, no, we have to put sunscreen on.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, you have to put like because
sure.
she just likes to just lay in the sun. So
my goodness, like you get sunburned, stop laying in the sun. It's like all of us, pale skinned people too. Speaking for myself. Well, would you like to meet some animals?
I would love to meet some animals.
Okay, so we have 3 animals today. We typically bring 3. It's a nice little number. It's kind of my favorite number. And let's just go ahead and meet a reptile first. I'm going to bring him out.
Right.
So this, once I get a hold of him, I will move the travel enclosure over. Yeah. So this is BT. BT is a blue-tongued skink, and this type of lizard comes from Australia. You're welcome to actually go ahead and touch him on the, I'll hold him for you, but you can touch him on the back there. They're really smooth. I think they've got, this guy lives in mulch, so he's got a little bit of mulch still on top of him there. But they're really smooth, kind of like a snake, right? And you had mentioned to me that you're not super fan of snakes, but this is kind of a compromise because they do look like snakes, but they're not. They're a lizard. So this type of lizard lives in Australia, and the skinks actually come from all over the world too.
Can I play tourist?
You totally can. That happens a lot here on the show.
We're gonna play tourist on. Here we go. Hi, hi. Awesome.
Say hi, BT, and smile. So they are a type of lizard only found in Australia, but this type of lizard in general, the skink family, they live right here in Texas as well.
Really?
So we have skinks that are much smaller than this. They're no longer than his tail. And they stay pretty small, and they stay hidden underneath the leaf litter and things like that. And they're all over the place. Really? So if you are into gardening at home and you live in Texas or anywhere in the United States, you've probably seen these guys. You just didn't know it. It's not the same species as him. This is a blue-tongued skink, which is far larger. But the skinks are very slender. They almost look like snakes. And they have very small legs. And very, very smooth and kind of shiny scales, really pretty. They almost look slimy, but they're not, right?
Yeah, very.
He's very, very dry. He doesn't have any slime. He's not an amphibian or a fish.
Are you looking at
He's
me?
a lizard. That's fine. Yeah, they're very observant.
Hi, lizard.
Yeah, so BT, we don't really know his or her gender. This species is really hard to tell, so we just went with a gender-neutral name. BT stands for blue tongue, but it's also a famous trans artist, the Brian Transo, which is the father of trans music. So I love him. So I went with that name. This lizard, like I said, they're from Australia, and their main enemies out there in the wild are going to be animals like birds of prey, bigger lizards, foxes, other mammals like that. And can you guess what their tactic is to stay safe? What would this lizard do to stay safe, do you think?
Play dead?
That's a great guess, but they do pretend not to die. They pretend to do something else. So you mentioned
snakes?
Yeah, they pretend to be a snake. So this lizard would be on the ground flat like this. Imagine my hands are the ground, and they kind of scoot along almost like a little dachshund or something like that. And they have super short legs, almost non-existent legs, right? In fact, one of their close cousins is a legless lizard. So those type of lizards have no legs at all. They've evolved to have no legs. They're in the same family though. So they look like a snake because it's easy to hide their legs in the leaves or the grass or wherever.
Yeah.
And they kind of slither along and they look just like one. And if you were looking, especially overhead, because most animals are looking down at him, right? Especially from above, like a bird, but also even like a little bit of a bigger animal, it looks like a viper.
Oh yeah, no, I was looking at the head there, and it was kind of intimidating me.
Yeah, so they have a triangular shaped head. Not that is a good indicator in general if a snake is venomous, but a lot of venomous snakes do have a triangular shaped head, like a viper. And there is a really cool snake called a death adder in Australia. Sounds very, very scary, death adder, right? There's a reason. It's actually venomous. And they are a very common snake out there in the Australian continent, and they look just like them. They have a similar pattern, a very, very similar shaped head, and even a blue tongue as well. So they look kind of like them at first glance, especially to another animal from far away, and that would help to deter.
What's his side here? What is that?
That is a great question. So those little holes on the side of his head there, those are his ears.
Oh.
They're little ear holes. This type of lizard has really good hearing. They have really good eyesight, smell, taste, and touch. So all five senses. They're very, very smart, and they're very sensitive to all five senses, like I said. And if they do get grabbed by a predator, they can lose their tail. That's another way to stay safe if an animal does grab them by the tail. You probably heard of like geckos and other lizards losing their tail. And just like most lizards that do that, they can grow it back as well. So if the tail comes off, it can grow back eventually. It takes months and months to do that, though. So it's not something they want to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of a last-ditch effort to stay safe, but it can help.
Wow. Do they drink soda?
He probably would, but it wouldn't be good for them. Okay, but this is an omnivore. Yeah. They eat all kinds of stuff in the wild. So they'll eat things like fruits and vegetables of all kinds. And they'll also eat eggs and bugs and other animals and stuff like that too. So they have a very, very varied diet. No, not picky at all. Kind of like the pigs of the lizard world. Very, very good at eating almost anything. They're not the best hunters in the world because they're not the fastest. They kind of scoot along on their little legs that they have, right? And but if they can find something that's already passed away, like a dead animal, right, or an egg that just happens to be laying there, they will eat it.
Very good.
So his favorite foods, can you guess what it is?
Bug of some sort?
They definitely will eat bugs. He's a little bit lazy, though. He likes dead bugs. His favorites are actually things like bananas.
Oh, okay.
He really likes bananas.
That's a lot of, that's if you can find them, they don't really put up a fight.
That's right. They're not going to split on you, are they? They're not going to run away and split on you.
What's Mozart's?
I wish I wrote that joke.
What's Mozart's favorite fruit? Banana. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
Sorry.
That's all the dad jokes today.
Since we're talking about bananas.
I love that. No, they'll eat anything they can find that's like fallen fruit or anything. They don't climb the trees and get the bananas themselves, obviously. They're really bad at climbing. Right. They have very, very tiny legs. They are what we call terrestrial, which means on the ground. Terrestrial or subterrestrial, underground. They'll sometimes go under the ground to like get away from the sun or get away from danger, things like that. Go away to sleep underneath something. They are diurnal. You know what that means?
They can wake up at night and the daytime. They can.
That's a great guess. It's like us. So they're mostly active during the day.
Oh, okay.
So as a species goes, I mean, I know some people are more nocturnal than others.
They don't party till 2 or 3 o'clock.
Not really.
Regret it the next day when they show up to work at night.
No, they're not a nocturnal lizard though. Okay. A lot of lizards are nocturnal, or they might be a little bit of both, but they're pretty diurnal. So in the night they'll go away underground or under a cave or under something and go to sleep, shut their eyes, and take a nice sleep, and then come out in the day. And like any reptile, they do need to sunbathe from time to time, kind of like your dog. She thinks she's a reptile, I guess. Little Miss Pebbles.
You're right. Thinks she's a reptile.
I was gonna say we do have a dino, and dino is another type of lizard. I'll show you later. But we have a dino, and you have a Pebbles. How cute!
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You have a Bam Bam. We don't have a Bam Bam yet. Oh, that's what she does though.
Oh
when she plays Bam Bam.
Oh yeah. You're right.
She's very rough. Ha 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 ha. Get it? Rough. Oh my gosh, you guys. All the dad jokes. Well, these guys are really cool. They're actually, speaking of pets, they're one of the lizards that I would kind of recommend for pets. If you guys are into lizards and reptiles and you're looking for a pet lizard, I don't recommend pet lizards for every family because I think it takes a lot of research and special knowledge to take good care of them. Just like we were talking about with all the dogs out there and all the cats out there. You need, of course, special vet care for these guys because they're not dogs and cats and they're not domesticated. But blue-tongue skinks do make pretty decent pet lizards for the right family. They're pretty easy to take care of. They don't get enormous. They they get about a third larger than this. They're not like a big giant iguana or something like that. And as you can see, they're not aggressive. They're very sweet.
They're very cool.
And they're easy to feed because they're not picky at all. And they don't usually get a lot of health issues either. So I do like a blue tongue skink.
That is, there you go.
Blue tongue skink. Aren't they cool? And they call him a blue tongue skink because they do have a blue tongue. He doesn't always stick it out for us, but sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But they tend to stick it out more when they're, of course, they're eating, looking for food, tasting the air, things like that. Pretty cool. Any other questions about it?
That's about it.
They're pretty cool. I'm going to make sure nobody has questions down below. If you guys do have questions about the animals, of course, don't be shy. This is always a interactive event. I guess you're learning everything, or I'm telling you everything you already wanted to know about the blue tongue skink because nobody has questions. That's okay. And those of you that have been following us for a long time, you've seen BT before. He's a frequent flyer here on the show, and you can probably see why. He's a great animal ambassador. So we call our animals animal ambassadors because they represent their species. And some of them can be pets potentially, and some of them cannot. So all three of the animals we brought today are potential pets for the right family, but of course, always do your research, and pets are not toys. So we want to make sure you're not impulse buying any animal, even a dog.
Right.
All right. Well, BT did a great job. Like I said, those are the ears right there. You can see them really well in that shot. There they are. So mammals are really the only animals that have like the flappy part on the ear. Did you ever think about that?
No.
Every animal that has ears, they have an ear hole, but not necessarily this weird thing that we have. That's only a mammal thing. Birds don't have that.
Yeah.
Reptiles don't have that. Keeps them more streamlined, right? I'm going to put BT away. And we're actually going to meet a mammal next. Nice segue. Mammals, of course, have hair. They're warm-blooded. When they have babies, they give milk to their babies and all of that.
What am I meeting now?
A mammal. It's a surprise mammal.
Oh, it's a surprise. That's what it was. I was like, what's a surprise mammal?
Oh, don't worry. This guy's really cute.
Look at this.
Look at this guy. He's super hairy. Do you know what this is?
Oh,
it's not a lizard. I'll tell you that much.
Muskrat.
It's a mogwai. So this is Billy Joe. He's named after Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, and he is a guinea pig.
Guinea pig.
Yeah, he is. So he's an Abyssinian guinea pig, which is a special breed.
It's a nice set of hair here.
He's got really wacky hair, which I love. His hair does not have to be styled like this. It just grows like this. Super jealous of him. He never has to worry about styling it or putting any product. He has even like a faux hawk. If you look at the picture of him there, it looks like a multicolored faux hawk. Pretty cool. So guinea pigs are actually pretty common pets. I think they make pretty decent pets too for the right family. They are pretty high maintenance though. They're not quite as high maintenance as like a cat or a dog, but they take a lot of cleanup. They need a lot of running space. Guinea pigs are awake for 20 hours a day.
What?
They do not sleep very much. They're what we call crepuscular, which is not diurnal or nocturnal. They're just up and down all day.
They have a lot on their mind?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, they do have to eat a lot in order to feel I guess satisfied. They're just little gluttons. But they also have to continuously work their digestive system. So they're grazers. They're going to graze on grasses and things like plants and stuff like that. That makes them an herbivore, right? So they don't eat eggs or other animals like the skink. They only eat vegetables. Make sure and get a picture of him. Yeah. He is so cute. Guinea pigs are typically very non-aggressive. They are domesticated.
There you go, one more time.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey. There you go.
Guinea pigs are typically non-aggressive. They're domesticated. They've actually been domesticated for over 5,000 years.
Really?
Do you know where they originally come from?
5,000 years.
Guinea pig.
Guinea.
You would think.
Wait.
They're not from Guinea.
Is that a trick question? Okay.
Yes.
So they're hairy. So somewhere that's cooler climate, maybe. Yes, I would say.
Well, I'll give you a clue. They don't look like this in the wild.
Oh.
They are the same shape. They have much shorter hair, so they don't have much.
So mountainous area.
Sometimes.
I'm gonna say
Let me tell you who
Northern
domesticated
Africa.
them.
Egyptians.
Not Africa, and they're not from Guinea. So the reason they're called the guinea pig is because they used to cost 1 guinea in Europe. But they're not from Europe either. So this animal, as a wild animal, is called the cooey or cavy. The word cooey comes from South America.
Threw me
Yes.
off.
So I know, but most people don't know that, even though it's a super common animal to see in the pet trade. They were domesticated 5,000 years ago, or probably far longer in history. We don't have records that are. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know. By the Incas. The Incas domesticated them, and they domesticated them for food purposes. Don't tell Billy Joe. They domesticated them for farming, so they would actually eat these guys. They're easy to keep. They stay pretty small. This is as big as they get. They're potato sized. And so it's like a meat potato. But they're easy to feed. They breed very readily, and they actually their babies are a lot more developed when they're born than other rodents. So they grow up very quickly, and they can have their own babies right away. So it's kind of like farming squirrels that don't climb. So super easy. They can't climb out of their pens. They can keep them in very short fencing.
Ingenious.
And they're not going to, of course, fly away, jump away. But in the wild, they have very short hair like a squirrel without the tail. So imagine a squirrel with no tail, with squattier legs that runs around the ground, kind of like a big hamster. That's what they are. They're just a rodent. Pretty cool. And of course, being a rodent running around in South America, they are prey. They're not predators. So they have a lot of animals that eat them in the wild. So their main way to get away from danger and stay safe. Let me let you guess that too. What do you think they would do if they are in a dangerous situation? Something's chasing them. They can't climb. They don't really bite. They have a tiny mouth.
They judo.
They'll kick. No, their main way to stay safe is just living in big groups. So being the fastest out of your group is the best way to stay alive. So you don't have to be the fastest guinea pig in the world, just the fastest out of your friends, in order to not be eaten.
There you go.
And they have a lot of babies, and they keep those numbers up because of that. But there's always safety in numbers with prey animals. That's why birds flock together and why gazelles run together in herds, right?
It's like that hair. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Does it shed a lot, or is it just...
They really don't. This type of breed, it's a breed of guinea pigs, Abyssinian. They don't really shed a whole lot. It's more hair than fur. Kind of like us. So when you brush them and stuff like that, it'll come out, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. And we do have another guinea pig who's a Peruvian, and he has very long hair. So we have to like trim his hair and give him baths and things like that more frequently than these guys, and brush him every day. But this guy's very low maintenance in comparison.
Awesome.
Pretty cool. So that's what they would do there. They feel much more comfortable in groups, and they're very social. But that also makes them a good pet because they are social with humans as well. After being domesticated for 5,000 years, they should be. It's kind of like cats and dogs. Pretty cool. But cats and dogs, of course, are predators. So these guys are a little bit different in their behavior. But as you can see, he's very easy to handle. Look at those eyes. Oh my goodness. Again, all 5 senses on him too, right? Of course. He's got all 5 senses just like we do. Pretty cool. And they have very short legs. So no climbing for them. Like I said, another terrestrial type animal as well. All right. Well, that is Billy Joe.
What do we have next?
So all of our guinea pigs, we have 4 of them, by the way. They're all named after punk rockers. We have Billy Joe Armstrong, Iggy Pop. We have Noodles and Dexter from The Offspring as well. So those are all 4 of our guinea pigs.
Awesome.
So I'll let Billy Joe go back down and rest. And you guys can actually meet Billy Joe at any of our pop-ups that we do. We do bring out guinea pigs usually for our petting zoo experiences. That's one thing that we can actually set up for you guys to enjoy. Typically that's going to include some guinea pigs, our rabbit, our ducks, a bearded dragon lizard, which is a different species than BT, our tortoises. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but that is all that we have in the petting zoo. Oh yes, and humans. Humans. So our final animal is actually going to be sometimes in the trees. So arboreal is what we call animals that live in the trees, and sometimes in the sky as well. Yeah. I don't know if there's a word for that, but they do fly as well, which you guys can probably guess what it's going to be. It's going to be a bird next. So I'm actually going to step away and go get him. While I'm stepping away, would you mind just telling everybody what's going on with you once more, and where they can find you and who you are if they're just joining us, etc.
Hi, welcome to Once in a While.
It's our newest employee.
I am I'm adjusting myself here. How y'all doing? Waiting for a bird. So I'm Andrew, Southside Craft Soda. You can find our products at HEB, Central Market, that sort of thing. Birds love our soda. They love the colors.
We ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet he would like the colors. Hello. So this is another Australian native. Not particularly the individual, but the species. And it's a cockatiel. You've probably seen a cockatiel before. They're actually a pretty common pet bird. He doesn't really enjoy being touched, but you can 100% take his picture. He doesn't mind that at all.
Yay.
He's very vain, so he thinks that he is so beautiful. This is Evie, everybody. Evie is a male. We named him Evie before we knew what gender he was, but it just kind of stayed. And that is okay. It's 2022, 2021?
21.
What year is it? I don't know.
remember.
It's 2021. He can
Forever
be
stuck in
a girl or a
2020.
boy, whatever he wants to be. Forever, yeah, we're forever stuck in whatever year. But this is Evie. He is a cockatiel, and these guys are related to other parrots. They're in the parrot family. You probably heard of a parrot before. I'm just trying to make sure he's in view here. I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
Okay, forget about Andrew. No. So they're just a tiny parrot. They're technically a parakeet, which is just a smaller parrot. And they're in the cockatoo family. So you've probably heard of a cockatoo as well. Cockatoos are just big versions of this guy. Cockatoos and cockatiels are from Australia. So they're from the same continent natively. And Evie is the same coloration they would be in the wild. They're mostly gray, and they have white on the front of their wings and a yellow head and orange cheeks. The orange cheeks are typically for looking really beautiful to get a girlfriend. So birds that have bright plumage like that, they typically are trying to attract mates, at least when they're ready for mates, right? And what's really fun about parrot species like him is they are monogamous birds. So they will actually mate for life. So these guys will find each other and then kind of be in a little marriage.
Wow.
They're also great parent parents, and they will raise their babies equally together. Mama and dad will both sit on the eggs when they're incubating them. You want to come here? You want to come to the other hand? That might be a little more comfortable for me. Would you mind? Here.
Oh, wow.
There you go. That's better. I can hold this hand up instead. So, and they will both feed their babies equally, and they kind of have an equal partnership in that way, which I love. These guys can have babies about once a year, and they usually have anywhere from 2 to about 5 babies each time. So they do have quite a few babies every single year, a lot more than most humans, right?
Wow.
Pretty cool. Have you ever seen a cockatiel before? I'm sure you have. You haven't?
Well, not up this close.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Usually they're chasing me down the street.
Oh, birds in general?
Yeah. No.
What have you done to our birds to make them chase you?
Because I smell like bird feed.
Oh, I see. Well, guess what? Most birds do not have a sense of smell.
Well,
so that cannot be right. Yeah.
Busted.
So one really cool myth that I always like to kind of tell people that's not true is that if you touch a baby bird, the mom will reject them from smelling you on them. Now, the mom may not take the baby bird back because maybe she meant to get rid of it in the first place. Okay. So sometimes if you put a baby bird back into its nest, the mom was like, it's out of the nest for a reason. Maybe it's sick or something like that. And the mom is like, well, I'm doing this on purpose. Oh, sorry, Evie, I didn't mean to scare you with the towel. I just want to make sure we don't have any bird mess on our keyboard.
Yeah. I heard that there was like a group of parakeets that lived along the river.
That is true. I believe they are Quaker parakeets.
Yeah.
I believe they're Quaker parakeets, and that is a non-native species as well. Yeah. Obviously, there's no native species to North America, but there are a lot of in South America, right? Yeah. So those guys are not the best for the environment, but they are there. You were right.
I heard about that. And what's been really cool is I kind of live on the amongst the trees because we're kind of on the 4th story there by the river, and a lot of those a lot of eagles are have been coming up from. I didn't see those, and I'd never seen one until recently.
Very cool. I would love to see the birds that you're seeing so I can identify them for you and tell you what species they are. You can send them to me next time now that we have each other's number.
Yeah, totally.
That is something that I do all the time, by the way, you guys. If you have animals in your own backyard, like a snake or whatever, a lot of people see snakes and they don't know what to do. So they will send me photos of said snake, and I will tell them, oh, it's fine. It's just a harmless whatever, and they can leave it alone.
We've got
same thing with birds. Like, I'd be happy to show you guys what species. Jump right into my face. So Evie's actually flight trained. As you can see, he can fly. And he is trained to fly to my hand, but no promises. You see like your light flash before your eyes just now?
I just saw your ratings shoot up in the air by me being
I bet that was really funny. I can't wait to watch that one back. Evie is definitely harmless. He won't hurt you. If that makes you feel any better, but we are pretty close to one another, so I can understand if you're not used to it.
Never had a bird on my nose.
You almost did.
Almost did.
So these guys are also a common pet sometimes, but I do not recommend birds for most people. Birds are very high maintenance. They are very messy, number one. They do eat all day long as well and make a ton of mess, but that's part of their job in nature is actually seed dispersing. So they will eat a lot of things with seeds in them, like fruits, etc., or just seeds in general. This is a seed-eating bird in the wild. They eat a lot of small seeds. As you can see, he's eating seeds right now. And they spill a lot of them. They don't eat humans. No, most birds do not eat humans. And they're certainly too small to hurt anybody. They're vegetarian anyway.
Awesome, great.
But as you can see, he's dropping a lot of the seeds along the way, but that actually plants trees and plants all over the place, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great.
So it's going to plant life everywhere as they go. But that is a very inconvenient thing in your home, right? To be able to have to pick all that up, of course. But also they are pooping about every 5 to 10 minutes.
Seed spreading too, right?
Seeds dispersion as well. So that will also spread seeds, but also something you have to think about in your own house. So the reason that they go to the restroom so often, of course, they are planting trees, but a reason for them, selfishly, is to keep them lightweight so that they can fly away. That's their main defense. So this animal is another prey type animal. And if they were to see a predator, their main instinct is to fly away to safety, right? Stay in big groups, like we said with the guinea pig, and also fly away into a tree where they can't be seen as easily. Maybe they're on the ground looking for seeds on the ground. They need to fly up. If they're too heavy, then they can't get away as quickly. So that's really, really handy for them to be able to just go to the bathroom every 5 minutes. And birds don't even really have a traditional bladder anyway. They actually have less internal organs than most other animals. And that is because they need to be, here we go again. Good. And that is just because they're totally designed differently. So they don't have like extra organs like we do, like an appendix. They don't need that. So they don't have it. They don't breathe with lungs either. They actually have an internal system that's an air sac system that is like kind of more throughout their body cavity, but it's very lightweight.
I see. That is very interesting.
And of course they have semi-hollow bones as well, which keep them lightweight.
Wow.
Pretty cool. And no teeth.
There you go.
No teeth, right? They have a beak instead. So that keeps them very light. You are so pretty, Evie. A lot of people ask me if he talks. Oh, I was going through why they don't make good pets. They're also very smart, so they take a lot of training. Not every bird is as nice as Evie. Some birds do bite humans, right? And they have a very, very strong beak, even for a bird this size. Their beak is designed to crack open seeds and nuts, so they can bite. And not every bird is happy being in like a home where they're not getting a lot of attention and things like that. So they need a lot of attention. We have multiple birds, so they get each other. But he also gets a lot of attention from his humans as well. It's a lot to think about before you actually get a pet like that. However, there are a lot of people that do have cockatiels. They are pretty cool. A lot of people ask me if he talks. He does talk. So Evie is a pretty big talker for a cockatiel, and he usually knows what's next. I have a little mirror that he loves to look at himself because he's very, very vain, and he will check himself out and usually talk once he finishes his treat. I'll see if he will do that for you guys. And then we'll start saying goodbye, I think. Evie, you ready? Let's say hi. Everybody can see his reflection there in the... What do you think? Oh, very, very pretty. Yes. Yeah, you are very pretty. Yeah, we went over this already. Do you have anything else to say? Kisses? Okay. I think he's trying to say hi. Say hi. What do you think? More?
Hey, he's looking at me now.
Yeah, I see that. Look at that. Inception.
Well,
super cool. He does do that to humans as well. This is just the easiest way to get him to talk on cue. You're just gonna keep whistling the whole time? I promise he says more things. Can you do? He does a really good impression of a spray bottle. We do a lot of cleaning around here. Can you do a spray bottle? Shh, shh, shh. Can you do it?
There you go.
Good job. Yep, that's how we clean up. What else do you know? Is that it? What do you think? Did you have fun today?
Very cool.
Now he'll never stop. Good boy. Well, okay. That's enough. What have I done?
Yeah.
Maybe he can do a burp.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Maybe he'll learn that from me. I'm sure he will eventually. Well, you guys, this is our last animal, and I know we're running a little bit late, so it's been a lot of fun. This has been a first here at Once in a While, having like a burping contest and a soda drinking, taste testing. What do you call that?
Yeah, taste testing.
Taste testing,
Whatever
sure. And of course, Evie being a ham as usual. Say Sandor. Yeah, he does say Sandor. Sandor is the name of our giant rabbit, and he does say, yeah, he'll do whatever he wants now. He says Sandor. He says Pikachu. He said, because he's an Eevee. Pikachu, Eevee, come here.
Yeah.
And he'll say, come here. He'll say, step up. He'll say, perch. But it's hard to get him to do it like live.
Yeah.
But he loves to whistle. He loves to do the spray bottle. So that's pretty easy. Okay. I hope you had fun.
I did.
Andrew.
This is fun. I enjoyed it.
A first for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just gonna make sure we're in focus here. Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been fantastic.
So, which animal was your favorite? That's hard to. Don't tell Evie. It's not.
It's absolutely you, Evie.
It's Evie. Evie's gonna log us out.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he is. He's hey Richard, it's good to see you. I'm glad you got here, even though it was a little later.
Scratching a little bit.
This usually is a one-woman show, but we do have not a woman. We have a bird and Andrew today. Yeah. So this is how he thinks he's going to get more treats, by leaving and coming back. Super cute. Thank you. So this is actually Evie. Evie is a male. We did name Evie when he was a baby, and he looked like a female at the time. He actually had a lot of different markings, which typically mean female, but he grew out of those feathers and is 100% boy. And we know that by his behavior and him being very vain. Come here. Come here. You're going to turn us off if you're not. He's like, it's time to go. In the show already, Amanda. So as you guys know, birds have a mind of their own sometimes. Get on my shoulder.
There you go.
And they do what they want, don't they? Yes, they do. Thank you, Sunset Wildlife Connection, for being here. We would love to have you on the show sometime. They're a dear friend of mine who has opened up their own animal outreach as well. Well, you guys, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for having patience with us as we were, burping and carrying on. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. I'm really happy that you were here today.
Sure, I'm happy to be here.
And like we said over and over again, this is where you can find this guy, SouthsideCraftSoda.com as well, but also on social media at Southside Craft Soda. So check them out. Visit your local HEB or bodega near you and get some Southside Craft Sodas. You won't regret it. They were delicious. We have more soda to drink coming up soon. And maybe we'll mix them with a little more here in a little bit.
Yeah, that'll be the next time.
That'll be next time. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us. Once again, we are here each and every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Next week, we will have another guest. So Evie's excited for that, apparently. He's dancing. And we'll have some more animals to show you guys and learn about, as always. And just stay tuned for things coming up. Now he's going to talk.
There you go.
He's ready. Okay. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
We are nothing close to ordinary, but we love to be your friend. Holding hands and let's have fun together, singing as loud as you can. Everybody singing once in a while. Together. Once in a while. I wanna hear you say once in a while. And the fun for me and you.
Okay, everybody, we'll see you guys next week here on YouTube and here on Facebook on Once in a Wild Wednesday. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Say bye, Evie.